Welcome to the Bridging Gaps podcast, presented by the University of North Texas System. Here are your hosts, Shannon Murray of Fox 4 and UNT System Chancellor, Lesa Roe. Take it away, ladies.
Welcome back to another episode of the Bridging Gaps podcast. I'm Shannon Murray from Fox 4, and joining me as co-host is UNT System Chancellor Lesa Roe. We're recording today's episode live from our brand new UNT System Media Studio in downtown Dallas. Lesa, what's new? Any summer plans?
Hey, we just wrapped up graduation. Summer school is already underway, and we've got a lot of exciting construction projects getting ready for the next school year. Everything from our law school here in downtown Dallas to our interdisciplinary research building in Fort Worth at our Health Science Center. And we got a visual arts and design building in Denton going up. So just lots happening there. At the same time, we got some new partnerships underway, creating some new internships to address the shortfall that we have with doctors. And so our Health Science Center has done that partnership with Medical City.
That's awesome.
And kind of in line with today with athletics, we've just came off of one of our best seasons in history with athletics, and we're busy breaking ground with a new track and field and soccer stadium. So
oh
lots
my
happening.
Gosh, that's great. Yeah, it definitely fits our theme today then.
Now, what about you, Shannon? What's happening with you lately?
Well, it seems like the news is never slow in Dallas. It's been a lot of severe weather lately. You know, today I was out early covering all of the hailstorm that came through. So long morning doing all of that. It's about that time of the year when we start to see a lot of rain. And as a reporter, I've got to go stand in it. So that's always fun for me. But let's get into today's topic. This week's guest, NBA legend and former Dallas Mavericks #1 pick, Sam Perkins, is certainly timely with the Golden State Warriors and Cleveland Cavaliers squaring off in the NBA Finals right now. Sam, of course, starred alongside Michael Jordan at the University of North Carolina. He also played with Magic Johnson as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. Can't wait to hear how he compares his Hall of Fame teammates to the stars of today. Of course, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant of Golden State. So, Lesa, I know that in your job you work really closely with the athletics department. We were just talking about some of the exciting things happening there, but you also have a couple athletes in your family too.
I do, and they are very jealous today. My husband played for University of South Carolina, and my son played for Virginia Tech, so they're both wishing they could be me today.
Yes, I bet they are. So we're not going to just talk basketball with Sam. We'll also talk about how DFW has changed since he was drafted by the Mavs 34 years ago. We'll also talk about diversity and giving back. And without further ado, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with former Dallas Mavericks great Sam Perkins. Listeners, just feel free to weigh in with us on Twitter at Chancellor Roe and at Shannon M Fox 4. Give us a follow, tweet us your questions or comments. We'd love to hear from you. You're listening to the Bridging Gaps podcast with Shannon Murray and Lesa Roe. We'll be right back.
Together we.
Like the Tower Green to celebrate victory.
Together we
are building Dallas's emerging urban university.
Together we
are finding ways to fight Alzheimer's disease.
We are the University of North Texas, the UNT Health Science Center, and the University of North Texas at Dallas. Together we are the UNT System.
To learn more about the UNT System, visit untsystem.edu.
Welcome back to the Bridging Gaps podcast, presented by the University of North Texas System. Here are your hosts, Shannon Murray of Fox 4 and Chancellor Lesa Roe.
Welcome back to the Bridging Gaps podcast with Lesa Roe and me, Shannon Murray. And let's meet today's special guest, one of the most accomplished players in basketball history, former top pick of the Dallas Mavericks. Sam Perkins is with us. Sam was a 3-time college All-American, 1982 national champion at the University of North Carolina, where he starred alongside Hall of Famers Michael Jordan and James Worthy. Sam was the #1 pick of the Dallas Mavericks in 1984. The same year, he helped lead the United States to an Olympic gold medal and was named Player of the Year by USA Basketball. Sam had an incredible 17-year NBA career with Dallas, Seattle, Indiana, and the Los Angeles Lakers. Since retiring, Sam has worked for NBA teams and the NBA League office in various capacities. He currently sits on the board of directors for the NBA Retired Players Association, but he's most well known in basketball circles for his work with youth, both in the United States and overseas. Sam still lives in Dallas and travels the world as ambassador for the NBA. Welcome to Bridging Gaps. Thank you for being here with us.
My pleasure. How you doing?
We are doing great. It's really exciting to have you here with us.
Yeah, so Sam, delighted to have you here. Let's start with your time in Dallas. You're a native of New York and played college ball at North Carolina. What was it like coming to Dallas as a #1 pick back in 1984?
Man, that feeling coming off the plane was like foreign. I thought I was in a foreign country because I've never been to Dallas prior to that. And I knew there was a chance at the time I was going to be here, but and that's because I met Dick Motta. He was the coach at the time. Mm-hmm. So they were thinking about picking me at that pick, at the 4th pick, or someone else from Kentucky. I think Melvin Turpin, somebody. But when they did, I must have had a good interview. So I came here, and it was just Dallas was just so different from New York, so and North Carolina. So I just came off the Olympics at that year. That year we won the gold medal. So wow. It was different for me.
What was it like coming onto a team that was really a pretty new franchise right on the beginning of the Dallas Mavericks?
Well, the thing about that was, like you said, it was new. Mm-hmm. So that was a good thing because it was a new team, and I think maybe they were 4 years old. I can't really remember, but they had a promise, and everybody was excited around Dallas and at the Reunion Arena, and I was just happy to be part of that. Just be happy to be drafted because I held out for a minute. So. But in any case, it was a good experience. My rookie year was a good experience coming to Dallas.
When coming to a new team, it sort of allows you to set the tone and really figure out what you want to make the team.
Yeah, the tone was already set. I mean, they had promise. They had all phases covered. They had a guard. They had a shooting guard. They had a small forward, and so. The way Dick Motta played, he just wanted a complete team, and he's always had trouble with centers, and so I was power forward, center. So it was good. I enjoyed the relish my first year here.
Well, and even though you've played with other teams along the way, you still live here in the Dallas area. How has DFW changed in all that time?
Well, it's definitely grown.
Right.
I can assess that. I lived in Addison. And the toll road stopped right there.
Yeah.
And now it goes to China now. So
seems like it.
It's definitely grown to an extent where you have more people here, a little more diversity of people. It's not just Texans here, but you have a collective, a group of people that make up Dallas, and you can see it in the stores, the food, just the neighborhoods, and it's still growing because they build like crazy here.
Right, and you've been here 34 years, I think. So what's kept you in Dallas all this time? Well,
I still got family here, so my daughters, they decided to go to TCU. They lived in LA, so. They love TCU over SMU. Okay. So I have twin daughters, so they kind of just loved to. They didn't get into North Carolina, so their second.
You couldn't pull some strings. Come on.
I thought I had the strings, but it wasn't meant to be. So, yeah. But they stayed, and because of that, even though I moved on to different cities and lived, I always came back here, and because of them, and I have a sister here. It was just central for me to go back to East Coast and to the West Coast.
You mentioned the diversity and how that's something you've really seen change over your time here and how it's kind of grown and improved. But you're from New York, and in your charitable work with young people, how do you address cultural differences? Do you take a different approach with youth from the DFW area than with maybe the kids you work with in other big cities in New York, LA? I mean, do you see a difference there?
Well, most of the kids I come in contact are basically the same all over.
Right.
They're from different genres, but low income, one parent families, and that's mostly all over. But
Right.
you do have the ones that have a good foundation. So it's common all over, and you just kind of say the same message to them because I found out as talking to these kids, you need to encourage them more. They need more encouragement, more so than being said they've been counted out or something like that. But you give them some type of insight on what they can be and what they could be and what they can achieve. So through basketball has been the vehicle for me, but at the same time mentoring players from the league to mentoring kids in different camps and like I said, genres from different groups. It gives you a chance to really see what cities are like. And Dallas has an abundance of, they have entrepreneurs here, young entrepreneurs here, but at the same time, they have kids with some situations that they need to be encouraged for their self-discipline.
You mentioned the camps that you're doing. Tell us a little more about those while we're on this topic.
So, as I mentioned earlier, Paul Quinn has a camp, a mentoring camp right now going on. It's through my fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi. And the thing is, they have basketball, sports, but they also do workshops, learning things on how to use tools, etiquette, how to dress, how to speak, and when you're being introduced, from place settings to everything. So
all those first impression things that really can make a difference.
Yes. And so we build them up and tell them the good and the bad, but we also try to make sure that they are on the right path. And so the fraternity is always encouraging young men to achieve, and that's what we probably do at this camp, because they come for 12 days, almost 2 weeks, and they learn just about everything. And they see different men from different endeavors. And so I may be a ball player, and there's somebody who might be a police officer or a teacher or artist. But we all try to collectively try to give them the same message and try to give them some insight on what they can achieve and what they can do. And so when they go back to their prospective cities and states, we try to keep those same values there, with them, and take those same values with them and try to make sure that they're on the right path.
Well, how about internationally? I know you do a lot of work with the NBA overseas in Europe, Asia, and Africa. How is it different over there from a diversity perspective and the issues that you see in the other countries?
Well, knowing their countries, the countries I've been to, they don't have the same offset of things that go on here in the States. They don't have, they may have bullying as well, but they don't deal with a lot of issues that some kids have here. Crime is not one of those type of things where, or getting with the wrong crowd is not one of the prerequisites in international play. Mostly I see the kids over there, they may not be well off in things that kids have here, or they don't have the mindset of getting, the first thing is not money, the first thing is not getting jewelry or sneakers, but they're more so excited about the NBA. And once they see that, once it comes to them, it's almost like that's all they want. But at the same time, we try to mentor those kids as well and try to, give the same message. But you have to approach them a little different because they don't have the same mindset as some of the kids here in Dallas or New York or DC, because of the fact that they don't have I don't know how you say it. They don't have like an outreach of opportunities as kids here do. But since they're foreign and since they're international, they have other things that they deal with, and they're on the right path as well. Don't get me wrong. There's some kids that are having face challenges as well, but they more tend to have an outlook of trying to be NBA All-Stars or women All-Star, WNBA All-Stars. So it's a little different, and you get to know them. The barrier is the thing that challenging is talking to them because they speak different language there in Turkey or in Spain or Indonesia somewhere, but the first language is not English. So you try to do what you can and try to be the best you can be as an example over there.
That's awesome. So there's a lot of other things you're involved in. You're on the board of directors for the NBA Retired Players Association. We also know you've done some work with Special Olympics and Habitat for Humanity. What's life been like after basketball? It seems like you've really gotten involved in a lot of different things.
Yeah, I did. I got involved with a lot. I left the Pacers as an player relations, player development, basically. And so I went into radio, TV. I enjoyed radio a great deal. TV, not so much, but the
and I'm over here trying to get you to come on Fox 4. I'm like, give me your number. You're like, oh, maybe.
Well, you have to talk and wear a tie, and I wasn't ready to wear a tie yet, so I don't know. But it was different because people asked me to do things, and they thought there was maybe a career in it or something like that. But I did travel a great deal overseas. I did do a lot of things for the NBA, but also at the same time, doing all these different things, it's been great. The Retired Players Association, which I just board of directors, I just got on a couple of months ago.
Congratulations!
Has been fun. You know, it's work and dealing with the guys before me, legends, and they ought to be. But at the same time, it's been an experience. The Special Olympics has been with me since Carolina.
Okay.
You know,
so long time.
That's great.
Yeah. So coach by the name Dean Smith, he introduced me to doing something different. You know, and so I got involved with the Special Olympics, and since then I was invited to a show, and I met Rebecca Lobo at the time in Connecticut, and next thing I know, I'm on the board as I played through the seasons, and I think I was in LA. The next thing I know, I'm in Shanghai with intellectual disabilities. I didn't know nothing about it, but now I'm versed on it. It's been good, and so that's been my passion ever since since graduating. So I've been involved with that with Tim Shriver and Maria Shriver and all the people that on that board. So it's been real nice.
So I need to ask you a question that I'm sure you've probably been asked before, but what's it like to have played with Michael Jordan and to Magic Johnson, and how do you think that compares to playing with some of today's folks like LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant?
Well, I had the opportunity to play with I'll take Michael first, but we were in school together, and of course, I'm a year older than him. Well, I was a sophomore, he was a freshman, so I didn't know anything about him as he didn't know anything about me. But that team we had in school was probably one of the best teams I ever played on because it was fun, and Coach Smith, our coach, he made it fun. And so we didn't have any problems or any disingenuous attitudes or towards each other, but it was pretty much a well-oiled machine, and we got along great. And Michael was very pivotal as a freshman, because freshmen usually don't play all that much, but he was an exceptional until he became Michael Jordan until he got to the NBA. So
that's pretty amazing. You can talk about Michael Jordan before he became Michael Jordan. I mean, you were like
he was Mike. He was Mike. He was
Mike back then.
He was called Mike, but now he's on Michael Jordan now. But the two, him and Magic, when I had the opportunity to leave here, when Dallas decided not to decline my, I think I was a restricted free agent at the time. And that means like you can go to teams and get an offer, but Dallas has a chance to sign you back. And since they didn't sign me back, I decided to go to LA. And so when that day came, I couldn't believe it. And here I am with the Lakers, and Magic he was phenomenal. But the thing is, as I learned, you have to be ready for every game, just like he is, because he will shut you down in a minute. But it was cool, and I was ready for it. And I was playing with the old other teammate of mine back in college, James Worthy, and we were college roommates. And so it was good to get back with him. And so it just started. The Lakers just started everything, and I had a good time playing there.
A lot of people like to compare Michael Jordan and LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on that? What's your response?
I can't give it to LeBron.
Come on.
I can't give it to LeBron. I can't give it to LeBron. I mean, I know Michael, and just seeing some games and playing against him, and I see, and the only reason I say this is because Michael, we played against grown men. When I got to the league, I mean, I got hit with an elbow. I thought I was gonna like crash or something. Like I thought I was gonna go home and vomit. But LeBron is playing against like juniors and seniors who are removed from college. They would be it'd be their senior year right now, or something like that.
Different
because they left so early. So that's why I give it to Michael, because LeBron is just bowing his way through. Like he goes right through this door like it's cardboard, and that's how he's going through players. But don't get me wrong, LeBron is good, and he's done amazing things. But he has to work so hard to get it, whereas Michael was so at ease and competitive at the same time and enjoying it. And just recently, I see LeBron having some frustrations, but it doesn't matter. It's just the fact that Michael was overall, the best player, I believe, and LeBron is just right there. But the numbers are equal, but it just seems like LeBron is playing against kids.
I'm glad you're being so candid about this. I thought he's going to give some diplomatic, politician answer, but no. So you've been watching the finals, and do you think Cleveland has a chance?
They always got a chance when you got LeBron there, but when you have a JR right next to you, you may not have a chance. I don't know, but
when you said Steph Curry is kind of a buddy of yours too, so you've been watching him closely, I guess.
Yeah, we've had the same accountant or agent at the time, so I got to know him. Okay. I mean, I don't talk to him as much because the age difference is like crazy. He's like a kid. What can we do together? Play ball. And but the thing is that Curry is a phenomenal player. I like watching the Warriors play because of the fact that they in the playoffs every year. It's almost now they got haters because they always get there. They want somebody to knock them off, and they would love for LeBron to get this. See,
and that's why I've kind of battled with who I want to win, because I went to UT, so I'm a Kevin Durant fan. He was playing basketball when I was in school at UT, so huge Durant fan. But part of me wants to see LeBron do well too. So
I do. I mean, I don't really. It doesn't make me a difference, but at the same time, it would be nice to see that if one team is going to get it, and they won last year, it would be nice for them to repeat and become a real dynasty and kind of match the records with all the past champions. But LeBron he's going to win regardless either way. He's going to be the GOAT, win or lose, but. He's been putting in exceptional minutes, and he has a career that everybody would love to have. And it's just the dynamics of a great team, or a team that knows how to win and how to play, well coached with Steve Kerr. And then you have the Cavaliers, who had this is their second team for the year. This is like a whole new team. They had a first half team. And now they have a second half team with new guys, so it's a little different for them.
Yeah. You're still in Dallas, so do you find yourself at Mavs games or following the Mavs at all?
I go to some Mavs games.
Yeah.
when Curry's in town. No.
But yes, I was gonna ask.
No, but I go on occasion. I probably go to about 4 games.
Yeah.
3 or 4 games.
Is that kind of nostalgic for you in a way?
Nah, because the reunion. The reunion.
You're just so in that world still.
Yeah. Reunion is reunion, but when I go back, it's a whole different atmosphere.
Right.
I mean, I'm like, part of a chair now, so it's a little different. But
you go say what's up to Cuban and.
Cuban don't know who I am.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He has to.
I met Cuban all this time. I have not met Cuban until this past year at the All-Star game. And it's funny because I was coming out of the All-Star game and I left a little early. Mm-hmm. And I was looking for my ride or my car, and he was doing the same thing too. So he walked in front of me, and I tapped him on his shoulder. And I introduced myself. He was like, "Oh, hey, yeah." And next thing I know, I was like, he didn't know who I was, So I'm just saying,
really,
that's my first time meeting him. Even though I've been this close as you and I've never really talked to him.
Crazy.
So.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
It was really great to talk to you and talk basketball with you, especially with the finals underway. Very timely, and it's also pretty fascinating to hear about your time in Dallas-Fort Worth and how it's changed over the years. You've been here a long time, so thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me.
And Lesa and I will be right back on the Bridging Gaps podcast to wrap things up.
The University of North Texas system is the only university system based in Dallas-Fort Worth, the nation's #1 job market. Our robust system is focused on providing work-ready graduates to our booming region while uplifting the lives of our students through education. Between our 3 institutions, the UNT system awards more than 9,000 degrees each year, including the largest number of master's and doctoral degrees in the DFW region. To learn more, visit us at untsystem.edu. Welcome back to the Bridging Gaps podcast, presented by the University of North Texas System. Here are your hosts, Shannon Murray of Fox 4 and Chancellor Lesa Roe.
All right, welcome back, Lesa. That was pretty awesome to have Sam here with us today, talking about, the life of a professional athlete and life after. Any lessons from Sam you can take back to UNT?
Oh, I think it's be your best. Rise to the occasion each and every day. I mean, that came off loud and clear. That's kind of lesson 1. But then I think don't just have impact on your job. Mm-hmm. Use that experience for impact in life. I mean, he's clearly making a difference in young men's lives today. So that's pretty incredible.
Right, using that platform for good. And,
exactly.
And also taking all those opportunities too, because I think that I've learned that recently. Any opportunity, whether it's a podcast or working for, he mentioned, Special Olympics or Habitat for Humanity, all those things just open one door to the next. You never know what other opportunities might come your way too. So
yeah, that was pretty impressive.
All right. Well, thank you, Lesa. Thank you to the UNT system for supporting the Bridging Gaps podcast. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Chancellor Roe and at Shannon M. Fox 4. Send us your questions, comments, guest ideas, feedback. We'd love to hear from you. Bridging Gaps is a monthly podcast. You can find us in a number of places, including DallasInnovates.com and iTunes. Until next month, I'm Fox 4's Shannon Murray. For UNT System Chancellor Lesa Roe, say thanks for listening, and we'll catch up with you on the next episode of Bridging Gaps.